And we back with another reflection on the daily Vedanta donk. Still with the mobile setup here at our new spot. So don't at me if the autofocus is doing some bobbing and weaving, or if my arms look super long on this iPhone I'm using. Today's reflection and this move has provided a lot of reflections. Any move, a slight shift of community or space. And this, during our last Venice Vedanta Club hang sesh, philosophy club hang, which we're still going to be doing in Venice because we moved to Malibu, so it's not too far, just a short ride down the highway. But this, one of our philosophy club members, Kenan said, in different spaces I feel like there's this thing called geopsychology related to the space that you're in. And he said that while he was speaking, and we were talking about a handful of different topics as a group. So I didn't address it directly, but in Vedanta there is such a thing. It's not just geopsychology; it is your mahat. Your world. The same way you have something like Swadharma, which is your nature, very unique to you. Your mahat, the culture around you, your world that you build for yourself is all part of the receipt. Let's say the receipt of information from the websites you peruse, the friend group you're a part of, the TV shows you watch, the books you read. Receipt. Then you have a response inside of you. It creates like a chemical reaction. It creates a response within you and within your nature that then leads to a choice of action, your reaction to the response. Your response stemming from the receipt. And part of it is geographical. There is a mahat nature to the coast, perhaps, or the desert, to open spaces, to narrow or closed, constricting spaces. Our mahat. I've talked about this before, that within this philosophy, the development of the intellect, and it's worth saying this over and over and over again within this podcast project, that we have a body, a mind, and an intellect. We have three different equipments to navigate the world. A body and a mind, which we all hear about, talk about, think about as our two equipments. A physical body, a more nuanced, subtler equipment, the mind. But this philosophy calls out you have a third equipment, the intellect. The mind guides the body, the intellect guides the mind. These three work in alignment, whether you know you have an intellect or not, whether you know that explicit side of things when we culturally say things like mindset or frame of mind. Vedanta just goes a little bit further to give an explicit definition of what frames the mind. To have the proper mindset, what is it within us that chooses one mindset over another, that sets the mind towards a goal, that discerns right from wrong, that discerns what you should do, what you shouldn't. That is the intellect, the capacity to discern. The intellect is also described as the ability to see the end in the beginning. The capacity to see the end in the beginning. Each word matters in this philosophy. But the intellect, the capacity to see the end in the beginning. This relates directly to our mahat that we choose. The world that we choose, not just the geography, and that in the vein of that geopsychology, not just the city, but down to the accounts you might follow on Instagram. The time you give to social media or to movies, the choice of a horror movie before bed, or the choice of a book. Indulgence on the media side is not forbidden by all means. There is no judgment. A horror movie or reading, CNN. Either could be beneficial, giving the mind a rest. Either could be driven out of compulsion, seeking escape. So it's not what you do, it's what you do it for. You might have a great temperament that loves horror movies, and it's a great escape. And I love that this philosophy will say, just take the mind for a walk. My teacher, Joseph, will often say, just take the mind for a walk. Sometimes, like a dog pent up, needs to be taken for a walk. Dude, cruise YouTube for 30 minutes. Go watch the latest Avengers movie. Take the mind for a walk. Give it a rest. It doesn't just need to be, it shouldn't just be put to work all day, every day. Give it a rest. And within this infinite choices of ways to give it a rest, you might find great satisfaction and rest in a horror movie. For me, that is the opposite of the stuff that I want to put in my head before going to bed. So even when you're taking the mind for a walk, like you'd take a dog for a walk, do you take it in a dangerous part of town with a bunch of risks, with broken glass, dirty needles, or do you take it for a walk, maybe on a hillside or a clean park? Wherever you take your mind for a walk, it's no different. The intellect, as we develop it, and that capacity to see the end in the beginning, chooses what we want to receive. That then spills into the responses that we have within ourselves, that then help guide us with which reactions we might have to those stimuli. So our mahat, the culture around us, our satsang. Satsang is translated as community and truth. The community that we choose, that could either be in pursuit of truth or it could be in pursuit of the false. It could be friends and the set of family members that want to see your development. Or it could be friends, coworkers, or a set of family members that seek escape with you, that seek and encourage indulgence within you. That satsang is very much a part of that mahat, of your mahat that you choose. That satsang, that community and truth, that is the friends you follow or don't follow on social media, the accounts, the podcasts that you listen to or don't. The books that we read, the books that we don't read, the people, the media, the movies, the geography. Your mahat is your satsang. What you choose for the world around you becomes either a conduit for your pursuit of the higher or slippery slopes bringing you down towards the lower. Everything that we choose around us, what we put on our walls, what we put in our heads, the people we pursue, the work we choose to do, that is our satsang. That becomes our world. All of it, creating this multiverse of each of us having our own universe, our own individual universe in which we say, this is our world, sets up our mentality, either guides or agitates our mind, which then leads to guiding our body towards action, right or wrong, for the higher or for the lower. And it all starts with the deliberate choices from the intellect for what we surround ourselves with, what we pour into our heads, pour into our minds, and it all forms our mahat. Our geo-media community psychology. Throw in spatial in there. well beyond geography or city, and down to the books on your bookshelf. Choose each of these deliberately because they make up our world and they greatly influence our minds. That is today's reflection on the Daily Vedantic. We'll see you next time.